Welcome to Primetime UFL action as the Vegas Devils take on the Cincinnati Vultures. Good evening, everybody. I am Mike Daggs. Alongside me in the booth is the one and only Gerald Smith. We are back, baby.
We are back. You decided to somehow win a championship, left me behind for a bit. I think I got lost or something, or
I've been out celebrating.
I thought I was unemployed, but here I am.
Here you are. You're back. On the 6th day of the 6th month, we got a pair of teams with 6 wins. What's that mean? I'm not sure, but we got a game going on.
And you do got quite the Devils who kind of tearing it up in recent weeks.
Absolutely.
Well. Four-game win streak there. Wow. The Vultures.
Opposite sort of situation.
3 straight losses after starting 6-0. So
one-score games, though.
Still else.
It's still a loss. It's still on, but you know, listen, I'll take a 1-score. If I have to lose a game, I'd rather have it be a 1-score loss than say, you know, a 3-score loss. At least it means you kept it close. But hey, let's see what happens here tonight in this one, as we've got 2 great teams, both doing really well in their own right. But like you said, one team with a little bit more success recently than the other. So here we are in Cincinnati. Vegas starting off with the ball on offense, and we'll roll through that Vegas starting offense. You see the offensive lineman out there on the field. Frank Stearns, the quarterback for the Devils. Jack Nitro, the halfback. Ethan Flowers, Braylon Battle, a couple of the wide receivers on this squad. 2nd down and 8. They'll go down to the ground, and what a gap. Big first down pickup for Nitro.
And like I always say, man, they actually opened up a huge gap right there. Like I said, how many snowball trucks you can fit through there? I don't know, probably 4. And then he puts a juke move on one of the defenders right there. But very, very good blocking up front for Nitro to get himself there, and does I like the little move he put on him right there.
So I see you're still measuring things in terms of snowball trucks.
Yes, I miss my snowball truck.
Listen, that's fine. Everybody in America knows how big a snowball truck is, so it's very easy to visualize. Nitro gets the ball once again on 1st down, picks up a small gain, and we'll roll through that Cincinnati starting defense. A couple of the premier defenders here on this Vulture squad, Nathan Brady IV and Robert Brady Jr. They moved from outside linebacker to inside linebacker in their 3-4 set, father-son duo. Those are two of the big stars here on this Vulture defense. I'm expecting them to make a big impact tonight.
Yeah, kind of trying to shore up everything up in the middle right there to kind of shut a little bit down in the run game.
Stearns throws on 2nd down, gets a nice pickup on that one, getting that out to David Glyden. He'll pick up a 1st down.
Look, and they're just trucking on. They're almost kind of picking up where they left off. Look, in the last couple of weeks, Vegas has won by multiple scores the last couple of weeks as well.
Little laundry on the field, and a false start for the offense as the Cincinnati crowd likes to make some noise, make things a little bit difficult for the visiting Devils. Right from about midfield, 1st and 15. Back to Nitro they go, and this time immediately wrapped up and tackled for a loss. And right on cue, Robert Brady Jr., who we mentioned in the introduction for the defense, getting that TFL.
Right, and right up the middle, just going right there and being able to shut it down, and that's why they're moving on the inside.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that time, Nathan Brady, the 4th, getting in on the action. 3rd down and 16.
Coming, I think that may have been Wilson right there on that as well, but one of the ones that was in there just being disruptive.
Yeah, it was Wilson. Yep.
You know, as well, coming right there off the other side is just, you know, one of the outside linebackers as well, and Ford coming through there and kind of making it in there, but it's a 3rd and long right there after 2 runs for TFLs here.
They're down at 16. Stearns back to throw. Has time, connects. Can he get the first? He does. A huge pickup for Stearns. Gets a big completion out to Glidden again.
Yeah, and just had just enough time to get it off. They started applying pressure really late right there, and Ingram just kind of lost the wide receiver a little bit right there and was wide open. When you give a quarterback that much time, I mean, it's only inevitable that someone is going to break free. And it happened there with Glidden, and then being able to find himself, past midfield and into Cincinnati territory.
Stearns dumps it down to a wide open target down at the bottom. That is halfback number 2, Dedrick Wright, giving Nitro a little breather. 2nd down and 7. As this methodical first possession continues to gain yards. Right on the outside of field goal range right now. Stearns up top, gets him into field goal range and more, down into the red zone, all the way down to the 15-yard line. Glidden, his 3rd reception of the night. I think that's Stearns' only receiver so far, other than the backup halfback who caught that check down.
Yeah, and what they're doing, it seems like, look, the game plan they're going through here, they're actually spreading out the defense a little bit, right? Getting a little bit of space, and it's been pretty successful for them, especially on one run right there with Nitro early on in the drive to pick up a chunk of yardage. And here, as I say it, here they are. They're coming out in a little bit more traditional running set.
Oh, quick pass up top. Well read by the defense. Getting Ethan Flowers involved, his first catch of the night, but only goes for a 1-yard gain. 2nd down and 9, still from the 15.
You hit her again, and it looks like somewhat of a man coverage type situation right here.
And we're back here in Cincinnati to continue Vegas's first drive. Been looking really good so far, all the way down inside the red zone. We last saw him at the 18-yard line. 3rd down and 12. So they've converted a 3rd and 16. Can they do it here? Stearns back to throw, fires, end zone, jumping catch into the end zone, touchdown. Ethan Flowers, 2 catches on the drive. That one clearly the biggest.
And it was probably one of the most interesting 3rd and 12 alignments from an offensive scene. Like, what are they doing? It's more of a heavy set, but what do? They just send Ethan Flowers down there and throws the ball up only where he can get it, right, with his 6'2" frame, skies up, brings it down, all hands. And here they are starting out their opening drive and getting points on the board.
Flowers absolutely mossing Pearson Pierce. Extra point is good. And Ethan Flowers in the chat. Get off me. Yeah, that's what's up.
He looked like he was a stud jumping up and get that look. And on that drive right there, quarterback was 6 for 6.
Yeah,
and 93 yards.
And I mean, there was 2 passes that were short. There was the one check down that he made to Dedrick Wright down at the bottom of the screen. He also had that pass. The first pass to Ethan Flowers was just a quick pass out to the side. But otherwise, those other passes, those were downfield throws. It wasn't like they were all just simple checkdowns. So yeah, perfect for Frank Stearns on the opening drive. Flowers getting involved, David Glidden getting involved, and Flowers earlier on in the chat, he said, where was that one? He said, I don't know who this Glidden is, but dang, he can football, and he can. And Glidden can be yours. He's an unclaimed player. You just got to go to UFL.football, and you can claim Glidden. You can be Glidden. But hey, now it's time for Cincinnati to show us what they can do with Mac Chima at quarterback. He is the one leading this offense, and here's the rest of them. You see the O-line. You've also got Al Ingram III at halfback, Warren Murray, and Byleth Thomas at wide receiver, T. Roy Gaines at tight end. Love me some T. Roy Gaines.
He's a Cincinnati legend, I think. Man.
He does it all.
He's a legend.
He is a legend. A legend and a dear personal friend. I was texting him earlier this week, chatting about, talking about the Aztecs championship win in the simulation football league. Good stuff. Love me some T. Roy Gaines. Here's the Vegas defense. Tyrone Johnson and Chris Phillips. Those are two of the big names on here. You got Tyrone Johnson at right end and Chris Phillips at one of the cornerback positions. You know, this Vegas defense leads the league in sacks. They've got 35 sacks, and the crazy thing is they've played one less game than other teams. They're averaging about 5 sacks a game.
It's insane.
Ridiculous. Deep pass, and that one's caught. Chima going deep, completing it 39 yards downfield.
Mac Chima getting it out there, just throwing it way deep right here and picking it up right there. Warren Murray is on the spot. Very, very good positioning right there. And with one big throw, they're already down to inside the opponent's 35-yard line. Look, and they're looking to get themselves right back in it, right? Losers of 3 straight.
Yeah, so far, not really looking like a team that knows how to lose. As Al Ingram III runs that one up the middle and gets a first down.
And he just navigates his way through it, and he picks up a solid 10+ right here, right? Navigating his way through the traffic and being able to pick it up, and kind of, even as he's getting brought down, he still manages to truck a guy. He actually trucked Chris Phillips right at the end there.
Chima in the gun. It was actually one of his longest passes on the season. Is long so far, only 43 yards. That one 39, so 4 yards shy of it. You know, this is something that you don't want to see, Gerald. We saw Vegas have a false start on their opening drive. They're the away team, so okay. Yeah, the home team, sense. Settle down. That's why they lost 3 straight.
It's too excited. It's so loud in here, man. Like,
it is.
You got, 2 big chunk plays back to back.
Chima hands this one off to Ingram. Oh, he's got an opening. Gets all the way down to about the 14-yard line. Picks up another first down. I thought he might go.
Yeah, I did too. I think if he would have juked right instead of left right there, he had some opening, but still, it's a 10+ yard run right here he's got, and it's able to reset the downs right here. 3 rushes for 26 yards already, and you can do the math. That's over 8 yards per carry right now.
Yeah, I'm going to let you do the math. You're a former stat man.
Yeah,
you know how to do that.
Yeah,
math stuff.
8 yards a carry.
I don't do math. Chima, under pressure, down he goes, and there he is, Tyrone Johnson, one of the big stars here on the Vegas defense, helping them average 5 sacks per game. Ridiculous numbers.
Right, and that's how they done it, to be able to kind of shut down some drives right there, right? And what it did, the defenders right there on the back end was able to kind of hold their spots and everything else, and he was able to get free in Johnson and bring down the quarterback and fight off the offensive lineman there. So, I mean, we're going to see how Cincinnati is going to rebound after this right here. Look, they're not in a bad position at all right here. I mean, they're down there pretty good. See if they can capitalize, similar to what Cincinnati done in their Vegas done in their long yardage situations on the previous drive.
Johnson's 4th sack on the season. And when they have 35, you'd think a guy like Johnson might have more than just 4 now, because now they got 36 sacks. But yeah, they've got Mark Evans, who's got 6. They've got Darius Alves, who's got 7.5 all by himself. A couple other players with 1 apiece. So getting it done. Chima on 3rd and 12, firing, getting it to the goal line and just short of the line. but a first down and goal. It says from the 1. Gerald, I would argue that's probably the half-yard line. T-Roy Gaines.
Yeah, look,
getting the catch.
And we know he's a legend at another league right here, right? And what he does, he's right here again, showing some other skills that he got. Oh, it looks like he got in. I don't know. Why we're not getting a challenge there? Did he do? Oh man, that's interesting.
And coming out in the gun, first and goal from the half-yard line. Mac Chima standing at the 6, hands this one off and hit. Down he goes. Looked like that was Leonard Crawford with his first carry. And I think they may have even lost about a half a yard on that. We'll see where they placed the ball.
They did. Cumberland comes right in there and blows it up and being able to hold them still.
Now, see, I like this set a little bit more, but they're still going to throw Chima up top. Wide open target. Touchdown, Vultures, and they answer right back.
And just like that, Byleth Thomas comes through, does a very good out route right as he cuts. Mac Chima finds him. And now they're looking at tying the game up, pinning the extra point. These are really 2 explosive type drives. They scored quick. Cincinnati scored really quick.
Yeah.
While Vegas had more of a methodical drive, and they were in long yardage type situations. 2 third and longs they had to convert to get their stuff here. But
yeah, third and 16, third and 12.
Getting their stuff in chunks.
Extra point is good. 10 plays, 85 yards. And here late in the first quarter, 2 touchdown drives in the book, 1 for each team. 6-2, 6-3 in the standings. These 2 squads. Vegas, like you said, on a 4-game win streak, which is great. You start off the season, you're 2-2. You're kind of wondering, where are we? What are we doing? Where's this going to go? 4 wins later, you're right up there leading the. One of the top teams in the entire league.
And you want to know something that's interesting about them as well? Guess what? They've won 4 straight, and on the road, they are undefeated. And what are they playing today? They are on the road. And, Cincinnati, right? They're 3-1 at home, so their better side of the record is at home as well. 3-1 at home, playing a team that is undefeated on the road. It's not often you actually see that from any team in any major sport at all, that they are better on the road, and Vegas is better on the road.
And under pressure right now, he's going to go down, sacked. Oh, darn near fumble, but I guess they're just going to call that a sack. But Robert Brady Jr., who's already got a tackle for the loss on the opening drive, gets a sack right there, loss of 7.
Yeah, and he comes right in, a little bit of a delayed blitz right there, but comes right at the quarterback and comes in there. Look, and that's why you move,
yes,
these guys in the middle right here where they can make the most impact. Very, very good coach recognition. Say, hey, look, he's one of our better guys right here. Let's move him right in the middle. We can use him as a pass rusher up the middle and be able to stuff the run. Already he has 3 tackles in the first quarter.
Final play of quarter number 1. Stearns dropping back and dropped down. Sacked on back-to-back plays. Bumpers gets the sack, and a 3rd and 29 coming up to start the second quarter, and right where they want to be.
Yeah, and this is look, and after you go down and you score like you did, it's very, very good that they go down and they're able to put up a defensive first 3 plays right here.
7-7 at the end of the first quarter. You're watching the UFL on the Virtual Football Network. I'm Mike Dykes. He's Gerald Smith. Cameron Irvine back at UFL Studios. 3rd and 29, and they go back once again. 4th and 33.
Look, and there's no penalties involved in that.
None.
You just
that
got
was just straight losses.
Back. Look, and if Cincinnati has somewhat made a statement right here on their defensive drive. Now,
wow.
They can come out on their offensive drive and do something similar to what they did on their last offensive drive. I feel like it could be a severe change in momentum.
It definitely could, but I mean, let's see. Let's not count out that Vegas defense, because listen, Vegas opened up the game with a nice methodical drive. Cincy opened. That was almost blocked.
Ooh, they were going for the block too.
Cincy had their first drive, and it was a nice, methodical, albeit quicker, bigger chunk drive. Both teams scoring. So now the Cincy defense holds Vegas to no point. Well, they held them not only to no points, they knocked them backwards 23 yards. let's see if Vegas's defense can do the same. Again, keep an eye on that defensive line. 36 sacks now on the season, leading the league by far. So they'll start things off with a run. They're going to go back down to Al Ingram. He picks up a nice chunk. 4 rushes, 35 yards already as he picks up 9 there.
Well, look, and that's a good average to have right there. You pick up 9, right? And before that rush, he's averaging 8 yards, over 8 yards a carry, still continuing on with it.
2nd down and 1. We're going to do a draw, get it back out to Ingram. He'll pick up the 1st down as he's able to pick up 2 yards on the play. Fresh set of downs here early in the 2nd quarter. Appreciate all you joining us live for UFL Primetime. Rochelle Colston in the chat. Stefan Forge, Robert Brady Jr., Tyler Shelby, Ethan Flowers, Nathan Hall, and I guess Robert Henson. Look at that pass down the right sideline into the end zone for the touchdown. That change in momentum you were talking about, Gerald, it just struck home. Byleth Thomas, his 2nd on the day.
And Thomas not only can do a really, really good route in making the out route and the cuts, he can actually burn a man.
Oh, yeah.
He got past Chris Phillips in a hurry by 3 yards, and his quarterback, Mac Chima, did not miss him. This is a really, really big point in this game right now. Vegas has to come out after giving up this very quick score and being pushed back to their own 1 and forced to run away out there. So a 49-yard drive they put together because their drive started in Vegas territory. So we're going to see how this is going to shake out. But very, very good offense. All 3 really good quick score on offense to start. Then guess what you do? You follow that up with a really good defensive drive, pushing your opponent back as far as you can push him back without getting a safety. And then you turn out and 2 plays, 2-3 plays, you make this big play and you score a touchdown to take the lead. 14 unanswered really quick.
Yeah, absolutely really quick. And for Thomas, through 9 games, Gerald, he had 1 touchdown on the season. Here in their 10th game, he's got 2 already. It's early in the 2nd quarter.
Wow.
It's Thomas, get it done.
Getting it done and just making waves, right? Look, they're playing at home and they're trying to get, off that 3-game skid.
See what Vegas can do. Went backwards 23 yards on their last possession. They're gonna take the free yards here. They're like, you know what? I think it looked like he took a step forward and he's like, nah, I'm gonna go ahead and kneel.
It was a should I? Nah, better not.
Rochelle Colston in the chat. She's asking questions and she's tagging me. What are the numbers, Rochelle?
You're right there.
Yes, it's bingo now.
Playing some UFL bingo. It's right there. It's right there at the bottom.
She got her daubers out. Smacking them numbers on the sheet.
Jack Nitro. They got to get Nitro going on this drive. They went for a couple of passes and resulted in back-to-back sacks. And then, of course, a loss on that last run, which was just kind of let's just go ahead and get room to punt. But Nitro, big on the opening possession, and so was that guy, Ethan Flowers, who gets that catch and gets the 1st down. I believe, gets the 1st down. His 3rd catch of the day. He had the 1-1-yard catch and then a nice touchdown catch. Got that one there to keep this drive going. So gaining positive yards here.
Yeah, and Stearns is still perfect on the day with his passes as well.
There's Nitro again. Oh, bottled up at the line. He's not going to get anything on that one. In fact, they'll mark him for a 1-yard loss.
Nitro was juking a ghost or something because he had plenty of space there, but he decided to juke in there, and he juked right into a defender. I mean, you got a 6 wins on the 6th of the day of the 6th month.
You're still trying to do that.
Yeah, I am kind of. Look, I mean, I don't know.
I don't want to get struck by lightning or some nonsense. I don't know. You just stop with this 666 nonsense. Look at this Nitro picking up some nice yards there. Vegas they're gonna try to answer back here. Cincinnati already with 14 points. They scored them quick, and they haven't put up 30 points or more in about 3 months, Gerald. It was March 15th the last time they scored that many points. They're already about halfway there. Frank Stearns, he was trying to run, but he looked like a horse with broken legs. He's not gonna get many yards out of that one. Is brought down.
And it was
Aisha Ingram.
Yeah, and it was on a 3rd and short situation. He had time right? But actually, you know, the defender there just worked their way off of the block of the running back there, and then, you know, Stern just ran right into it, and now they're punting. Look, and that was a 3rd and short. It was very, very manageable. It's like, hey, back me up for a 3rd and extremely long. I might be able to pick it up because they did that to very, very much success on the very first drive of the game.
Punt drops down at about the 12-yard line, returned up to the 15, and that is where Cincinnati will look to answer back again and get their 3rd possible touchdown after starting the game down 7. You know, and we talked about, you know, this Vegas defense and how they're known for being the defense that gets all the sacks. Well, so far, Cincy's defense is the one that's making things tough for Frank Stearns. So offense for the Vultures out there, and yeah, look at him go. Look at him stiff arming and running down the sideline. Could he go? One man to beat. 10-5 touchdown. One play, 3 touchdowns answered back to back to back.
Al Ingram goes for 84 yards and breaks a tackle. They've had 3 drives, and every single drive they're scoring in less and less plays, and they do it right there as the guy gets a stiff arm. Al Ingram, massive, massive play. Now you have 20 unanswered points. They have all the momentum. The defense is showing up. Wow.
Yeah. What else can you say, man? Wow. What a play.
And this is off a team who plays really, really good on the road. They've never lost on the road. Look, we know that, you know, Cincinnati is really good at home. But man, like the way these two teams have been playing, yeah, look, and it goes to what you said. Hey, they've lost every game that they've lost in recent 3 games skid by 1 score.
Yep. So they're giving themselves a nice cushion right here.
Right. So Vegas has won 4 in a row, and you know, hey, they won. You know, at their last 2 games, they won by multiple scores. The game prior to those 2, they had to win it in overtime, but still, it's like, man, they've been playing extremely well, and for them to come in here and get punched in the mouth like this.
Al Ingram, the 3rd, with a UFL record 84-yard run, resulting in Cincinnati's 3rd touchdown of the night. Ingram's previous record of 82 yards all the way back from week 1, which was on February 12th versus Austin. So he's like, you know what I should do after setting a UFL record? Do it again. He's like, I'll beat it. 82 yards. Child's play. I've come a long way.
Yeah, like quite impressive. And one guy had a shot, missed it. He just stiff-armed him down and just continued on, determined.
Right. Let's see if Vegas can get back to that methodical drive sort of way like they had on the opening possession. A nice pass down to the bottom, complete, and you saw it right up there. Frank Stearns, 8 of 8, still perfect on the day. But part of the reason he hasn't thrown an incompletion is because when he's under pressure, he's just been taking the sacks. He's been sacked at least 4 times now.
Yeah, 3 or 4 times there.
Oh, pressure in the backfield, but gets the pass off. Oh, and it's incomplete. Flowers drops it.
Ethan, God, that was considering what his touchdown catch was, that was a relatively easy catch right there. You know, very, very good play. Nice block by the running back on that previous play. God, he just could not just come up with the catch there to reset the down.
Uche Whitaker punching it loose. Getting the completion. Oh, and absolutely leveled by Ingram. But the completion is made, and the first down is achieved. So the drive will stay alive. Ethan Flowers in the chat saying, what are we doing, Vegas? And Robert Henson, always with the inspirational words, says, currently losing, Ethan.
I'm sorry, I can't help but laugh. Ethan just took 2 L's, right? One in the chat, right there, and he took one by dropping the pass.
Yeah, right after he said, what are we doing? He drops the ball. Oof. And
oh,
Henson.
Man.
Oh, Henson. Stearns back to throw, gets it out down to the bottom, and this is what I wanted to see them get back to. You know, just throw it to the open target, get that pass off before the pressure gets home, and, 2nd down and 5 after a short game.
Yeah, look, and that's the thing. Look, they got to slow the game down a little bit for themselves. You can't get it all back in one play, right? So, or even in one drive. So, Look, they're doing what they got to do. Look, get back to what, they did good right there. Spread them out, right? Get the yards you can get. Take what the defense is giving you, and capitalize on those opportunities.
3 receivers, tight end, and a single back in the formation. Stearns will hand it off to Nitro, who charges forward. Can he get the first down? Now with 29 yards on the day, they'll be just shy of the line to gain. 3rd down and inches. Go right back to Nitro. I would do it in a hurry, too.
Yeah, and I would do it right here, too. But they haven't had a whole lot of success on 3rd and short, right? So we're going to see how this is going to happen.
Stearns up top, wide open target. Gets that one out to Glidden, who's had himself quite a night.
And Glidden got his 5th catch of the day for 74 yards. And what he does, he runs out there and makes somewhat of a stops right there. And right as he's turning, Stearns hits him right there. Had to do a little bit of stretch, but what he did, he actually pulled it in right there. He's been the favorite target of all the wide receivers Glidden has.
He has. And did I mention he's unclaimed?
He's having a great day so far.
Having a great day. Stearns hands this one off to Nitro, tackled for a loss on the play. Mark it right back to the line of scrimmage. You remember the company Unclaimed Freight? I don't know if that was just a local thing. You remember? They had really annoying commercials. I don't think they're around anymore.
Maybe that's why they're not around anymore. That's some annoying.
It could be. It always made me wonder.
Did they have
though.
a jingle? You can't have a commercial without a jingle.
Oh, they had a jingle. Yeah. Look at the footwork.
What is?
It didn't work
lost.
out. Stearns, he was doing great. He had good footwork going. Then he gets sacked. Only loss of 10. They're taking such big losses because Stearns doesn't get rid of it. Look, watch the replay. I'm happy with how he's maintaining that pocket presence. He's moving around, but throw it away. Throw it away, Frank.
Look, and they actually boxed him in. He got a little bit lost, like he couldn't go anywhere, right? The way the pocket was formed. You want the pocket to form around your quarterback, but then it started to box him in a little bit and got him in a situation they really couldn't get out of. And, you're right. Hey, look, you got to find somebody to throw it out, throw it over their head or something like that to prevent a 10-yard loss.
Another 3rd and long, this time 3rd and 20. Throwing it downfield and converts the 3rd and 20. Throwing it to the tight end. Dylan White getting the completion for 27.
You have to put these guys in 3rd and long situation.
It's not how you win games.
But that's the thing, like 3rd and 12, 3rd and 16, 3rd and 20, they're right here.
Just getting it
right?
done.
And Cincinnati's thinking, hey, look, we got them where we want them. We're about to get them off the field right now. And guess what? Come up with a huge throw right here. Look, and Cincinnati can't allow that to happen.
Frank Stearns, 12 of 13 now on the day. 1st down and 10 from the 14. Drive still alive. Stearns, play action to Nitro. Has time, throws, gets it complete. And tackled down at the 1-yard line. Another nice completion for a big gain. This time getting Darius Maddox involved. 1st and goal from the 1.
Yeah, and I'm still impressed with the efficiency of passing by Frank Stearns. 1 incomplete pass.
Hands this one off to Nitro, and he's in for the touchdown, at least for now. I don't know if we'll get another look at that one, but they say he crossed the goal line. We'll see if we get a replay, maybe get the pylon.
Yeah, it looked really close because, look, Nathan Brady, the 4th, closed down on him so fast.
I don't think so, Gerald.
I don't think he got it.
I think that might take another
There
look.
we go.
There's
It's a booth review. I think they're going to put this one at the inch line.
Yeah, I mean, I think he got down to about the half-yard line there. Stephon Forge says, hashtag throw it to the tight end. I like that. It's a nice hashtag. Should catch on.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's something.
you stop it. And after review, it is going to be a 2nd and goal from about the half-yard line and the 2-minute warning. A lot of things happening right now here, Gerald. 2 minutes to go with Vegas ready to answer back after 3 unanswered touchdowns by Cincinnati. So 2nd down and goal. Stearns under center. Hands it off to Nitro, who gets hit for a 4-yard loss. Man, the pressure getting in the backfield is like instantaneous. Nigel McDade getting back there like it was just a free pass into the backfield.
And you were just talking about, like, hey, look, the 35 sacks that actually Vegas had, on the season, right? That means they're getting a lot of penetration into the backfield. But guess what? Like you mentioned earlier, Cincinnati's actually the one that's actually applying all this pressure, you know, shutting down the run and everything else.
3rd and goal from the 4. Stearns throws wide open. Ethan Flowers, he don't drop that one. Touchdown, Vegas.
Yeah, he couldn't do that right there as they got pushed back right there. You know what? Flower comes in right there, gets his man coverage, and actually works his way in there, right? He kind of makes a juke move to go to the outside, but actually cuts it inside, finds himself wide open, and he doesn't drop that one as he puts his foot in the dirt, does some sort of a sumo dance or something. I don't know what he's doing, but
I mean,
he does it.
Yeah.
And look, they got themselves, it's back to a 1-score game right now, right? It's going to be 7, you know, if they get this extra point.
It's kind of wild after, I mean, just the run that Cincinnati had there. No pun intended. I mean, Al Ingram had an 84-yard touchdown run, but, you know, Vegas scores to start the game off, and then Cincinnati answering back with 3 straight touchdowns. But then Vegas, not only did they come out and get that methodical drive going like they had on their first possession, but they got back to something else they were doing, and that's converting 3rd and ridiculously long situations. You know, you saw the 3rd and 12 and 3rd and 16, this time a 3rd and 20.
Right.
But don't, why are you doing that to yourself?
See, and that's the thing. You as an offensive coordinator be like, that's not where we want to be in.
I don't like that at all.
It's a nice prize whenever you convert it.
I mean,
like,
it worked.
Like,
you know.
like, why are we struggling in 3rd and short and manageables, but excelling in 3rd and longs? That's not what you want to do.
I mean, it's 1st and goal from the 1, and we don't score, but 3rd and 20? Child, please, we'll get that. No problem. Oh, man, throw it down the field. 27 yards, first down.
And it actually works for them. It's like, put them in a tough situation. The only time they didn't really convert is when they got pushed way back and they decided to run off their own 1.
Yeah.
If they were through it,
giving up there,
like, what is it, 3rd and 35? They probably would have picked it up.
Updated bingo numbers at the bottom of the screen just for you, Rochelle. Mac Chima picking up where he left off. T-Roy Gaines getting a pass. Chima now over 100 yards on the day with that 2-yard reception. Did you see Al Ingram's numbers as he was coming back out onto the field? 6 rushes for 122 yards and a touchdown.
That's
Good Lord, son. Pass down to the bottom. That one is complete. Speaking of Al Ingram, getting involved in the passing game as well. 3rd down and 1, as you see the 2-minute drill rules for the UFL. Under 1 minute to go. Chima, he's in the gun's going to hand that one off. Gets the 1st down, getting up to about the 40. And they're content to let the clock continue to run right now.
Yeah, and they're actually taking their time right here, right? Because, you know, look, and they're I guess they want to try and look. They got their timeouts in their belt still, and if I'm not mistaken, I do believe that they're actually going to receive the second half kickoff because Vegas have gotten the ball first and had a methodical drive to start it off. So hey, look, they're looking like might get a little bit of double dip and going in there with a potential 2-score lead at least.
Robert Brady Jr. on the sideline giving some inspirational messages to his fellow defenders. 30 seconds to go now. Chima in the gun. Oh, he's going deep down the left side into coverage, and that one's going to be incomplete. Thought he might have had a man open down there, but great coverage by the Las Vegas defense.
Yeah, it was actually stuck to him like white on rice right there, and it was actually, look, whenever he cocked back to throw it, I'm like, hey, he's got somebody wide open, but not as much. Very, very good coverage.
First incompletion of the night for Chima, and they're going to go back down to the ground as Ingram takes the carry, and timeout called by Cincinnati. Rochelle Colston in the chat says, I did not ask. She thinks that I forgot when she was incessantly asking earlier.
Mike, what's the numbers?
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to bring up a number. 11.
What's that?
Why? Because I bought 11 soft-shell crab at the store the other day back at home.
Speaking of things that nobody asked about, Chima under pressure. There he is again. Tyrone Johnson, his 2nd sack of the day. He only had 3 sacks coming into the season. He's got 2 tonight.
Yeah, look, and that's what they need to be to stop him here. It's 4th down, and now what Cincinnati was going for here is pretty much got shut down, and here they are forced to punt, and Vegas is going to try and do something because they took that time out.
Well, you think they will try something here? They're gonna have like 8 seconds. Never mind, they got 10 seconds. Rochelle wondering why he didn't get a dozen crabs. Well, because, in Western New York, they don't have a dozen
They
crabs.
only have 11 for me, Rochelle. That's called a Western New York dozen.
When it comes to crabs,
They don't give you enough. They looked at me like I was crazy and said, "You want all of them?" I say, "Yes."
Yeah. But you're the first person in the great state of New York to ever buy 11 crabs.
They was beside themselves. I don't know.
Stearns on second down. Has time, throws, gets it out to Flowers, but with no time left. That will be the end of the first half of UFL action. So, hey, if you like offense, if you like scoring, this has been the game for you so far. Vegas strikes first. Cincy answers back, 3 unanswered touchdowns, but then Vegas does answer. They get one score ball game. Cincy leading it at the half, 21-14. Gerald, your thoughts so far?
Well, it started out with, hey, look, Vegas was looking like they're going to come in and actually dominate on the road, right as they've done all season with their 4 wins. But guess what? As it turns out, they come in there and actually Cincinnati goes down. Guess what? Puts points on the board, has a very good defensive drive, and then they rattle off 21 unanswered in Cincinnati to turn their hopes around, all on extremely big plays.
Yeah, Cincinnati averaging 13 yards per play because of their big plays so far. Cincy will get the ball to start the second half. Vegas will be on defense. We will pause for league rights.
This presentation of the UFL is intended for the private use of our audience. Any accounts or descriptions of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
I got you.
Yeah, and look, and they getting right here, and they're going to be able to put more, points on the board, but they're looking to just, stack it on top of what we already got.
Pass over the middle. That one is complete. But a flag on the play. And a face mask penalty. That one is accepted.
Shame on that guy.
And apologies for the audio from our microphones cutting out. I think what happened was there was too much discussion about crabs, and the league said, I don't want to hear this.
Well, it was blue crab, soft shell crab, if, just so we get that clear for Rochelle if she didn't hear it.
Yeah.
Yum,
That's
yum,
important
yum.
information to get out there during a Vegas-Cincinnati game.
Man, you batter that thing up,
Yeah.
and then you put it in the pan, and then you eat it.
Okay, you're too excited.
Dude, I have 11 of them.
We've all heard. We've all heard. Chima up top. Look
Look at this!
Yeah. Does that have anything to do with crabs, or should we call the interception?
No, we're going to call it interception. He deserves that 12th crab that I don't have right there for coming through and picking
Chris
that
Phillips.
ball off. Chris Phillips breaking on the ball right there.
Yeah, that was a great play by the defense. He was reading the quarterback's eyes, looked where he needed to go. Look at him plant his foot, turn, jump. Receiver didn't even see it coming.
Soft shell crab for you, young man.
The prize everybody wants. First interception of the season for Phillips. and it puts Vegas right back in business. The defense needed to make a big play to help their offense out, and that's the way to do it. Now Vegas has the opportunity to get this game tied back up. Right back down to the ground, Jack Nitro goes. He'll get the gain of 4.
And that's something that they can actually, start to kind of capitalize on right there, because they needed that type of stuff to slow down the momentum, right? Because Cincinnati was somewhat kind of taking them to the woodshed.
Pass up top to Flowers is complete, gets them the first down. Chris Phillips, he came into the night with 8 pass breakups. No interceptions, though, that being his first of the season. Also has 3 TFLs, 39 tackles. He's all over the field, constantly making plays, but to finally get that first pick when his team is trailing couldn't come at a better time. Stearns has time, decides to take off. Well, take off is a interesting use of words, but he's getting all sorts of space. I've never seen a guy that slow get that many yards. No offense.
Well, he's doing his best Whisker LaFouche impression. As we know, Whisker likes to break the pocket quite often. And what he does, he gets there, he breaks a tackle, and then he's like, okay, I don't want to, risk it again. So I think I'm going to just almost kneecap a guy.
Yeah. He's like, should I slide? Nah, we'll just kind of plow into Ingram and hope for the best.
He just kind of just hit him and just.
It's a strategy. Oh, jumping off sides. Do we get a false start? Another false start. Second of the night for the Vegas offense because of this raucous Cincinnati crowd. And down to the ground is Nitro. I gotta ask T-Roy. What food do you think? What is Cincinnati known for? Because obviously you got Cajun food down south.
I have no
idea.
idea.
The garbage plate in Rochester, New York. Buffalo, obviously wings.
Yeah, but nobody.
What's Cincy known for?
Yeah, but nobody eats the garbage plate.
Wait, dude, I had one last night.
Yeah, I can't get down with it.
Yeah, that's because you're not from here. You don't know. They're down at 5. Robert Henson says he can answer.
All right, let's
Skyline chili. What makes it Skyline? 3rd and 5. Stearns trying to keep this drive going, and does. So he gets it complete to Flowers down to the 20-yard line, right on the outside of the red zone.
And look, and Flowers is coming on really, really strong as of late, right? He's been the key guy, especially on their last drive that they had.
Yes, sir.
Near the end of the half, and here on this drive, right? He's coming up, quite often. Number 5, making himself known, and just letting everybody know, hey, I am the stud that I said I was early on in the game. No muffin, he says, all stud.
That's it. Just stud. I like muffins. A lot of sugar in them, though. You got to be careful. 1st down and 10. Nitro running up the middle. Wow. Now there's a fight brewing in the chat. Robert Henson says, Skyline chili, delicious. Robert Brady Jr. says chili. And then Ethan Flowers says, Skyline chili is absolutely garbage. Well, picking fights over chili. What's going on? Stearns, end zone. Flowers drops it again.
Did he drop it or did he get knocked out? It looks like it was close. He had positioning. I don't think he had to see it. He kind of had to turn back a little bit for it, but it was an opportunity to potentially tie up the game. He had an opportunity.
I mean, it was tight coverage. It was good defense. 3rd down and 7. Getting it out, getting it complete. That time it's caught. 1st and goal from the 4.
Yeah, that's Braylon Battle right there with his 2nd reception on the day. Getting them ever so closer right here. Look, and this is where they might try to, bust out Nitro right here and see if he can get it.
That's what I would do.
It gets them down to the 3 to 4 yard line right there.
Yeah, 4-yard line. Henson says, with some oyster crackers, onions, cheese on spaghetti noodles. I'm thinking he's starting to just make things up.
Wait, what?
He's just putting down random foods now.
Is that a chili?
That's what he says.
It sounds like more of some random spaghetti.
This is why I don't listen to a thing he says. 1st down and goal. From the 4, they're going to hand that off to Nitro. Bottled up, about a 1-yard gain.
Man,
2nd goal. Well, that 1-yard loss.
Yeah, Ford comes right across the edge. He came crashing straight down. You know, I had no worries. Knew they were going to run it and just stayed true and just had Nitro pegged right there.
Second down and goal from the 5 now. 5 minutes to go. Ball handed off to Marlon Cunningham. His first carry of the night. He'll pick up 3. Third and goal from the 1.
That was a real interesting call right there. I don't know why you would pass up halfback 2, halfback 3, and just give it to halfback 4 on that run.
Could be because he's the size of an oak tree, but I'm just guessing. This time they hand it off to Dedrick Wright, who walks into the end zone for a touchdown and an extra point away from getting this all tied up.
Yeah, look, and that was off of the interception by Chris Phillips, him being able to pull down his first interception of the season, and they give it to HB2 for him to get it in there, and now they are an extra point away from tying this ball game up when now they have scored 14 unanswered points to answer the 21 unanswered points that Cincinnati put up.
Yeah, it's a lot of answering unanswered things.
They're answering it.
Calls are being answered now. The operator is in the switchboard room. Wait,
yeah,
they don't have those anymore.
They got a little bit too wordy. See, look, that's what happens when I get fired and I got to come back. I'm out of practice.
Yeah, no idea what you're doing. You're sitting there talking about crabs.
Or was it
a furlough. It was a
furlough.
furlough. Yeah.
But I didn't get that notification. No one called and said, "Cheryl, you have work." So I just sat crying for like a month or more.
Listen, you had work, and then all of a sudden you wanted to go and eat seafood. The seafood is going to be the death of you because you had a game, and then you're like, I got to go eat seafood, and then what happened? Karma happened is what happened, and you got sick, didn't you?
Yeah, well,
then you didn't get your seafood, and you didn't call your game.
I'm just doing what I'm told.
I told you to be at the game.
So I guess it's my fault, and they say shame on you. You're sick now.
You're back now, though.
The bad voodoo got me.
Yeah, you're back. You're healthy. You got crabs in stock. First down and 10 for Cincinnati.
He
running up the middle.
His way through
yeah,
that.
he's acting like a running back out there.
Like Chima making it done. Like, look, and now they got to answer, right? So they got to answer with, this right here, because all the momentum they had, I do think was kind of taken away with the interception, along with Vegas being able to score.
Ball is handed off on a delay, and Ingram only able to gain a yard. Third down and 3. Cincy, they look so good with those 3 touchdowns. Now things are starting to sputter out. Can they get this first down? The fight about chili continues. Chima deep downfield on third down. Gets the catch, gets the first down. Pay attention, folks. Thomas with another big catch, his 4th of the night, now up to 87 yards.
And Mac Chima hits him in stride, right? He had just a little bit of like positioning on the defender through where only he can get it. The safety moved a little bit too far over. Wasn't able to get back there in time, and Mac Chima hit him right where it needed to be for a huge pickup to keep the drive alive.
Over 500 yards of combined offense between these two teams and 42 points. All sorts of yards and points, and there's your bingo numbers and chili. I don't know how that got on there.
Look, I got chili on my bingo card.
You got crabs on your bingo card.
I do. 11 of them to be exact.
The chili's gone. Chima rolls out right, 2nd and 1, has time under pressure, decides to throw it away. That's the thing that Frank Stearns was not doing. So kudos to Chima for keeping that 3rd and short.
Right, and what he did, he actually felt the pressure coming on his back and says, hey, look, there's nobody out there. If I run, I feel like that this, athletic defender is probably going to run me down.
Ball is handed off. Wow. Well read by the Vegas defense. They wrap up Ingram, tackle him for a 3-yard loss. 4th and 4, a long field goal try coming up.
Yeah, and here comes the field goal unit to do it. Man, the penetration they had up front right there, they just dominated the offensive line, and The running back had nowhere to go. There's no way you're going to beat those, those defenders right there hitting you just like that.
Tyrone Johnson, one of the ones to get the tackle. He's got some TFLs. He's got some sacks on the night. He's been making plays all over the place. Field goal try is good. Vegas is now trailing after Cincinnati is able to reclaim their lead.
And there's another couple of numbers for your bingo card right there, a 45 and a 24. As Cincinnati retakes the lead.
They do.
Look, and they haven't, been in the deficit ever since they were down 7-0, right?
Yeah,
so
they've either been winning or tied up.
Right,
so.
and they've been playing some, some fairly good ball. And, they would have recaptured the lead right here, and we're going to see how Vegas is going to, see if they're going to, carry on their momentum.
Just getting a little caught up on the chili conversation. Apparently, Skyline chili has cinnamon in it. You ever put cinnamon in your chili?
No, I don't know.
That's madness, right?
Wait, isn't chili probably one of the most simplest dishes you can make?
One would think.
So do you think that the Skyline chili is getting overcomplicated?
Well, he mentioned spaghetti and he mentioned cinnamon, so I'm going to have to go with a solid yes. First down and 10 for the Devils. Oh, more pressure right into the backfield. There's another guy that we've seen a few times tonight as Eldrin Ford gets into the backfield.
And that's his 4th TFL, coming right on the edge, crashing right down. It's almost like he's seen this play a few times, just coming right off the edge.
Oh, yeah. Read that.
And
like
not even worrying about the quarterback at all, just coming in there and just crashing right down the running back and, shutting Nitro down there.
Stearns with a 2nd and 12 rolls out, throws, and that one just a miss. Looked like he was trying to get that one out to Flowers. And, well, you know what? Good news for Vegas, though. 3rd and 12. This is the situation they like being in tonight.
It seems that way, right? So it's like, look, and they're going to try and spread them out.
Stearns has time. Decides to take off and run with it, but he's not that quick. Can he get there? No, decides to slide a little short of the line to gain it. Thought he might do it, but no. 4th down, we'll have to punt.
Yeah, number 93 on the sideline was not happy for the Vultures there. Like, Tymir McCork on the sideline got it all upset and jumping up and down like you couldn't pick up the extra 4 yards, sir.
Fair catch not called for, so he gets steamrolled. Starting off at the 20-yard line is Mac Chima. Threw an interception earlier on in the ball game. That was his 13th interception on the season, 2nd most in the league. So while he has looked methodical and efficient in this one, he's also had a lot of interceptions and, obviously had one there as well. That incomplete pass brings up 2nd down and 10. Final play of the 3rd quarter. Goes for a gain of 9. 3rd down and 1 coming up on the other side. So 3 quarters in the books. 12 minutes remains here from Cincinnati, the home of Skyline Chili. The Vultures out in front, 24. Devils, 21. I'm Mike Dykes. He's Gerald Smith. 4th quarter, 3rd and 1, throwing it up top, and that one is very well defended by the Devils defense. And both teams now on back-to-back drives will end in a punt.
Yeah, look, and way to shut it down right there, right? They only had a couple of yards to get, and they was able to play that really well and be able to shut it down and force a punt so they can get their offense back to ball. Look, and they're giving it to Stearns, right, who in 6 starts this season is 9 touchdowns and only 3 interceptions, for this Vegas squad. So he's playing a really, really good football at the quarterback position for Vegas.
Up to the 19-yard line he goes, and we'll see what Frank Stearns is able to do on this drive as Ethan Flowers coming back out onto the field with the offense. Only trailing by 3 points, so see what they're able to do. Stearns Has time again, but pressure on its way. Gets rid of it, gets it down to Flowers. He gets the catch, gets the first down up at the 39.
And that's a big boy catch right there from a big boy throw as well, because Stearns took a hit right as he was throwing it and is able to get it right out to Flowers right there, tap-toeing right on the sideline and bringing it in and then taking the hit and being pushed out of bounds. So very, very good start to this drive for the Devils.
Ready? 70, Indy.
First and 10 from the 39.
Let's go.
Stearns down to the bottom. Gets that one complete, crossing midfield. Throwing that one down to a guy we haven't heard from in a little bit, Dylan White. He had a big catch. He actually was the one that converted that 3rd and 20 with his 27-yard reception and adds on another catch there.
And that's a very large man. He's 6'7", 254.
Yeah, that's a big
like,
boy.
Like, I don't know. That sounds.
That's what you want out of your tight
Yeah, I
end, though.
know, but man, he's like.
It should be like a fast O-lineman, and that's basically what he is.
Yeah.
50, plant.
O-lineman with hands.
Check curls, check. Ready?
Stearns. Once again, just standing there like he's got
Oh,
5 business days. He's going to run. I take everything back that I said about him not being quick. Look at him go. You know, I think the first time he ran, I said he looked like a horse with broken legs. I feel bad about that now because he's actually gotten some good runs on the ground.
And the crazy part, he kind of outran a linebacker for a little bit, right? The linebacker that's been crashing right there and shutting stuff down at Eldrin Ford, getting all those TFLs. What's he do? He doesn't run out of bounds. He gets as many yards as he can get, and he slides down. Very, very good decision to take off there.
Ooh, good way to corral in that snap. Stearns down. Flowers, hat trick, touchdown. Devils, they reclaim the lead.
Flowers has come up huge in this, in this second half with the catches he makes. And guess what he does? He actually burns his guy, gets 3 yards of separation right there. And guess what? Frank Stearns does not miss him. And now they have retaken the lead since their first drive of this game.
Ethan Flowers give that man a bowl of Skyline chili. He'll take it straight to the trash can and dump it in, but he got a prize nonetheless. Touchdown for the Devils. Back out in front. They haven't been in front in this one since
the very first drive of the game.
Drive, man.
Wow, it's got really quiet in here now.
Yeah, yeah. Where did that raucous Cincy crowd go? I think they're just sitting there eating their.
The Skyline chili. The burner got turned off to it because now they got to get real serious about this.
They do. Hey, listen, I think we started like this intense fight in the chat, and now you got Porsche Henson and Robert Henson fighting about which chili's good, and like we could be breaking up relationships and and teams and all this because you had to mention your freaking crabs. You went and bought crabs, and it started a food discussion. Unbelievable.
I don't get this physique I got by not liking food.
I love food, man.
Especially fried foods.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this Skyline chili so far. I don't know. Updated numbers for Al Ingram. Most of that coming from his 84-yard touchdown. Ethan Flowers, of course, scoring for Vegas. 5th receiver this season with 3 touchdowns in a game. There's been a few others that have done it. It's a feat that not many people have been able to do, but Fresno's Denard Byam, Dallas's Neil Rivers, and Rochester's Dijon Swan, the mustard bird. Of course, Milwaukee's Mike Churchill as well. Pressure on its way and sacked. Doing a sack dance. Charles getting in the backfield. There's the updated sack number. 7 total sacks in this game. 3 for Vegas, 4 for Cincy.
Right, coming right off right there, right? Like you're asking the offensive lineman to block 2 people, and then and guess what? At the Al Ingram III makes a poor attempt to pick up the DB right there and call this quarterback to get sacked. Now it's 3rd and extremely long right here, right? So see if they can do what Vegas typically does and picking up these 3rd and longs.
Chima in the gun, standing back at his own 10, looking, pressure on its way, and just shoved down into the grass. Yeah, Tyrone, we all see you.
I think we saw him.
Yeah, 4th and 25.
And he's gonna hit that
Muse
fadeaway.
is the one that got that sack.
Yeah, your boy said, I'm going to dribble it through my legs and hit that fadeaway because we back. 4 sacks by both defensive here. And guess what? Vegas comes up really big with one right here in the 4th quarter to force a punt. And let's see if they can actually, kind of start to put this thing away, right? If they go down and score a touchdown, it really puts Cincinnati in a really, really tough spot.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you had asked me, midway through the 2nd quarter, if I thought the Vegas was even going to be able to come back in this one, I would have said no. And here they are with a 4-point lead and the football. Ethan Flowers with 9 catches, 113 yards, 3 touchdowns, joining only those 4 other receivers I mentioned with 3 touchdowns in a single game. And Gerald, he might do something that none of them have done. There's still 8 minutes to go, and they're, you got Vegas out here still slinging that rock. He could get another one.
Yeah, and he's been so dominant, Flowers, right? Especially like he's shown up huge in the second half, and you know what I mean. And now they have to look out for him, right? Because if not, he's seemingly taken over, right? And in the receiving game, for Vegas. So look, I think right now Cincinnati is caught back on their heels right now with how they've kind of been hitting the mouth with only mustering 3 points after scoring, 21 pretty early on.
Stearns up top, has his target. Is that complete? Kind of close to the sideline. They say yes. Gets it out to Glidden again. 6 catches, 93 yards for him. So these receivers between Glidden, Flowers, even Braylon Battles had at least 1 or 2 getting it done for Frank Stearns and the Devils.
Dude, and they're getting just enough separation, and Stearns is hitting them right where they need to be, playing really, really good football in this game. Look, and if you're looking at a score right now, right, ever since it was 21-7 Cincinnati, they've only scored 3 points, while Vegas has scored 21.
Stearns gets it right back out to Glidden again. Over 300 yards now on the day for Stearns. That was 99 of which to Glidden.
Yeah, and he's just taking what the defense is giving him, right? Like the defense just doesn't know. Look, and the run game from Jack Nitro has not been very good.
No,
right
on
now.
The first drive he was doing great, and then he kind of sputtered out.
Right.
Really haven't seen him since.
He's nearly almost been shut down. I think he's only averaging at this point maybe 2 yards per carry.
Stearns back to pass, has time, decides to check this one down, and Nitro breaks the tackle. Oh, I thought he was going to pay for it and get a loss, but spins off the tackler, gets a first down for the Devils.
Yeah, look, I mean, you get a fast, athletic guy out in space, right, and he'll make a play for you, and a couple of guys there, and the guys aren't able to bring him down. And just keeping on running. Ingram missed that tackle.
Weak eye in the backfield. They'll change that to a strong eye. Oh, it doesn't help at all. Oh, man. That's your jaw play of the night right there. Wilson with the TFL.
Tore him up, and look, and right as we see it, we actually, see right there, he's got like 20 rushes for 33 yards, Nitro, and he got lit up right there. They need to stick to the pass game, I guess, man.
Yeah, poor Welch out there, the number 2 tight end, trying to make a block, and it's like, well, clearly you don't know how, buddy. On the sack right after that, what Vulture's defense, they have come to play. They want to get back into this one, Gerald. 3rd and 23, but Vegas, they've converted these before.
Right, look, and they don't have to get it all back. They need to get themselves in field goal range right here, I think, right? But that's their 5th sack of the day, for Cincinnati right here, and he rolls right into it. But like you mentioned, right, Vegas has done it, on a decent clip. These 3rd and extremely longs. Their last long was 3rd and 20.
This would be the longest one. Stearns 26 of 30, 9th best completion percentage in a game this season currently, but under pressure and stacked again. And Gerald, don't look now, but 4th and 32, we've seen this before.
Yeah, and guess what? This went backwards, knocked himself 2 sacks in a row by the very same man on back-to-back plays, has now taken Vegas out of field goal range. McDade comes in there and makes a second consecutive sack on consecutive plays. And he shoots him down like he's a gunman.
Which is not okay. You can't do that. He's gonna be getting a FedEx envelope from the league.
Well, what if he says pew, 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 pew?
You can't do that.
You can't do pew,
no,
pews?
man. It's 2025. There's no pew pews.
Oh man.
Mac Chima's updated numbers: 7 of 8 starting off, 8 of 11 since. He had those 2 touchdowns earlier on. He's thrown an interception since. Trailing by 4 now, but they've got possession of the ball. They've got 80 yards to the end zone. Field goal really doesn't do them much good. They've got to get a touchdown. Starting it off with a pass complete to Mac Green. My laser-corrected eyes sometimes fail.
Why would you put a middle schooler out there? That man's 5'5". Like, he don't belong out there.
Now, you save that for Charles Docker. 2nd down and 2. Pressure on its way, going deep down the left side. That one might be picked, and it is.
Pick.
Gerald, he just threw that one up for grabs because the pressure was on its way, and Vegas has made him pay the price. Marcus Walters, unclaimed cornerback number 1, gets the pick.
That was reckless. You just had to sit back and kind of pick it off right there. It was, oh man, it was too easy right there. But like you said, that man's making a play. Got the ball back for his team, and he is up for grabs. Claim that man, and he is a starting corner on this squad.
Yeah, CB1, he can be yours if the price is right. That's probably trademarked. Chima, 14th interception of this season. Only Austin's Jesse Long has more with 17, and that's going to be their downfall. That's why they've lost these 1-score games. And don't look now, Gerald, but we have ourselves, you guessed it, a 1-score game, and they're trailing with 3.5 to go.
Yeah, and they got to make plays and stop right now, right? If they're going to sit back and you got to do something. You got to apply some pressure. Look, and they have 5 sacks on the day. Or 6. Is it 6? I don't know. Way too many.
A lot of sacks.
I think I told at least 10 plus sacks.
Yeah.
10 sacks on the day between these 2 teams. So
not quite 11.
No. That's some Western New York dozen right there. We're gonna make that a thing. It's 11. He's got a Western New York dozen.
Yeah. Somehow we make you lose one. I think the Bakers doesn't, you get a bonus one. No. Western New York when you lose one. Nitro trying to run this game out, gets the 6-yard gain to bring up 2nd down and 4. And at some point, since he's going to have to start using their timeouts, will they use them before the 2, or are they going to wait until the 2?
See, and that's the thing right here, right? Like, what is the right point for you to actually call these timeouts, right? And what is the at this point the AI thinking? What is the right time to actually do this?
Stearns down to the bottom, gets the 1st down, gets inside the red zone, and they do call their first one there, which I think is the smart way to do it. If you've got a shot of getting back into it, you're going to have to keep some time on the clock. A field goal will do you no good, especially with Cincy right now, with Vegas right now in field goal range, looking to extend this lead to 7.
Yeah, and I do think it's a good call. Hey, with that 1st down pickup right there, hey, you need to get that clock stopped and not let it go down right there. You're hoping to hold them to a field goal right here.
And hand that one off to Nitro. He'll pick up a few. 2nd timeout called now, 1 remaining. And, of course, the 2-minute warning, and then the clock cannot be stopped again. And, of course, they could always just make history and throw Ethan Flowers his 4th touchdown of the ball game, which he actually had an opportunity to get. Remember, he had a dropped pass in the end zone. It was tight coverage. Not saying he did anything wrong, but
Ethan Flowers,
he's had quite a night. 2nd down and 5, 2:06 to go. Clock stopped. And Stearns will throw over the middle, gets that one back to the tight end once again. Dylan White, 1 catch in the first half. I think he's had 3 here in the 4th quarter now. And final timeout called. And with that 1st down and goal, very difficult now with only 1 clock stoppage left and 2:01 to go.
And I was look, I got a chance to see like the little replay on our second monitor here. Dylan White made a very good way. He posted up like a center up in the paint and was able to just stop there and actually control that area.
Play action. They're going to still throw. They go into the end zone.
What was that?
And a 2-minute warning has struck on the clock. 2nd down and goal. That one was incomplete.
That was it could have been picked. It was in some traffic.
There's a lot of traffic. And Stern's going to throw yet again down to the bottom. That one is complete.
And he goes out of bounds.
He goes out of bounds.
Third
down and goal.
Wow.
Go. 50, plant.
I formation from the 3. Stearns hands it off, fighting his way towards the end zone.
got it.
Crosses the plane. Touchdown Vegas, and it's a 2-score ball game.
Oh, I'd like to get another look at that. Let's get a pylon cam view. This might be the best
Straight
one.
overhead.
Does he
There's the
get
ball.
it?
He gets it. For sure, he crossed.
I don't know,
The
man.
ball hit the paint.
I
You
don't
blinded by
know.
crabs or something? It crossed.
I would like to see a booth review just to confirm
Man,
it. And
no.
I guess they confirmed it in like.
If I was
you know,
Damon Simeon, I would be saying he crossed Hollywood Boulevard. That was so obvious. You just blinded by crabs, I think. So 8 plays, 58 yards, 2-score ball game. Vegas now up by 11. And something that we haven't done yet this game, which is a darn shame because he's so beautiful. Cameron Irvine, our AI expert, let's bring him in to talk about the play calling decision there.
See, it's not a darn shame because that means that the AI is working flawlessly, and then you don't have to hear from me tonight. But going back to that, those Vegas passes, I think part of that is because Vegas's pass game has been so successful. It's part of the second half adjustments. Jack Nitro has less than 2 yards a carry in this game right now, so I think the AI may be saying, look, I know that in most cases we would run here, but with the second half adjustments and Frank Stearns having a historical game in terms of completion percentage, they trusted him a little bit more in that moment. There's still opportunities to run in waste time offense, but obviously Vegas felt a little bit more confident in their pass game there on that last drive, and hey, it paid off for them.
Thank you, Cam. And truth be told, even if there was no reason to bring you in the final 2 minutes, I was going to bring you in just so everybody could see the cam because we need that in our lives.
I need that. You know how long it's been since I had that? I have to just sit there. I can't, do it. I have to watch him on like the real hot cam he does, where he's like losing his mind.
Oh,
Look at him. There he is.
See how pretty?
Look. God, I
He
love
doesn't have the hair curl going on
I
now,
love
but-
him.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
I'm going to need a moment. Oh, deep pass down the field is. We got to focus. He just made it difficult. Vultures.
That man
Trying to
made
get
me
it.
start sweating instantly when he did that.
This is a family program, Joe. They're down in 10. Cincy desperately trying to get back into this one. Not a lot of time. They're going to need to get a score and get an onside kick. First, they need to
Oh,
convert, and it's going to be a 4th and 10.
Oh, that was almost a third pick on the game right there. They just haven't looked really good after they had gotten their 3 touchdowns in consecutive drives and what they had.
They almost looked unstoppable at that point, and then it all fell apart.
Right, and they've been like outscored 28-3 since they scored that 21st point, and it just hasn't gone well for them.
Minute 34 to go, but it all comes down to this. They can either convert and have a shot, or Vegas wins their 5th straight. Pass is complete. They'll keep the drive going. Byleth Thomas with the catch. And they're going to need to ski-daddle, as they say somewhere.
Right. Look, and it's the thing, and as we know, hey, look, they got to know huddle looking. It's going to be a 10-set runoff in between plays right here because there are no timeouts from Cincinnati.
Chima dumps it down short. That's not going to help him. Gets the completion to Al Ingram III, but only gains 3. They need to gain about 50 on this next one.
Look, and you got to, I do think here, you got to work the sidelines right here, right? I think you got to work those sidelines.
Now, at what point, if you get into field goal range, do you just kick the field goal and get the onside kick? Or do you try to get the touchdown in this drive regardless? Well, it's not going to matter if they're going to keep throwing short.
Yeah, it's just a little bit too short. They got to have deeper routes right here. Look, and I don't.
Another gain of 3.
Yeah, and it's not anything that's going to net you anything right now. Here we are at 35 seconds right here, and they're just at midfield. They need roughly 20 yards to get themselves in field goal range.
Chima throws over the middle. That one is incomplete. UFL Week 10 action continues tomorrow night featuring Rashad Lockley and the Dallas Talons facing Mike Churchill and the Milwaukee Stags in primetime. Game night matchups include Salt Lake and Denver, New Orleans. Is that how you say it? New Orleans? That's what I said. And Miami and San Jose Motor City. It's all right here on the Virtual Football Network. You don't want to miss it, especially if tomorrow night's action is anything like tonight's, because this has been some great football tonight. Here we go again. It all once again comes down to this. Can they keep the drive going? But only 27 seconds. Could be too little too late. Chima throws. That one is incomplete. And Vegas is going to win their 5th straight game after starting out 2-2.
And on the flip side of it, now Cincinnati has, their lead in their division is getting smaller and smaller as they lose their 4th straight game. And, and as you mentioned, hey, 5 wins in a row, which also is 5 for Vegas. They are 5-0 now on the road. And, Cincinnati actually suffers their 2nd loss at home.
Yeah. And with that Vegas win, they're going to be in a 3-way tie for 2nd in the Great West Conference at 7-2 with Dakota and San Diego. So kudos to Vegas. Frank Stearns and company, I mean, they've just been playing some phenomenal football. They got up early in this one, and they got way down, but they didn't let that change the game plan. They still got Nitro involved. I know he didn't have really a great night, but he helped the team finish it off. So, yeah, fantastic play by this Vegas squad. 000's on the clock. 35-24 is your final. Las Vegas getting it done. Ethan Flowers with a fantastic game. He had 3 touchdown receptions, all of Frank Stearns' touchdown passes, and most of his 358 yards going Flowers' way. Cincinnati, they've now dropped 4 straight, 6-4 now on the season. Gerald, your final thoughts here on this one?
Well, Vegas is the 3rd team in the first 8 games of Week 10 to erase a 10-plus point deficit. As we know, they were down 21-7 tonight, and they came back and did it. And this is their 3rd straight win that they've won by multiple scores. They are a team playing at a really high level, and it just shows that, hey, look, they can actually weather the storm, right? And actually, kind of get themselves back in it. So, but look, Cincinnati has a lot of stuff I think they need to look internally. I think their confidence is broken, losing their 4th straight. So here we are, and this is all the games that they lost, their first game out of this losing streak that they lost by multiple points. So is it getting away from them? And this is at home.
Right.
And they play really well at home, but they just didn't tonight after those first 21 points.
Yeah, and they're going to be hitting the road in their next matchup. It's not going to be until Sunday, June 22nd. So they got a little bit of a break, and then they're going to be heading out to Detroit to play the Motor City Mustangs.
And something with that as well. They play Motor City, as we know. Motor City gets within a half game of Cincinnati right here, so that's going to be a big game for them.
It will be, and we'll see what action takes place in between. But either way, yeah, that's going to be a kind of a must-win sort of game. We've crossed the halfway point of the season, so playoff picture going to start taking shape here soon as well. And for Las Vegas, getting this 5th win in a row, not too bad, but they're going to stay on the road. They head to the Miami Pirates on June 12th. It's going to be some great football. Appreciate y'all joining us tonight and talking about chili and crabs and football, and that's what it's all about, buddy. It was great to get back in the booth with you.
Sure was, and I'm just glad I'm here to prove that I actually still have a job, which is great. I feel good. I feel
rejuvenated.
Yeah,
you look rejuvenated.
I am.
This has been a presentation of the UFL on the Virtual Football Network. For Gerald Smith, Cameron Irvine, and of course Matt Wilson is always with me in spirit on all these broadcasts. Thanks for joining us. Be kind to one another. Always choose happy. Have yourself a great night, everybody, and get ready for some more UFL football tomorrow night. We'll see you right here on the Virtual Football Network.